From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2110, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, April 11th, 2018. Encouraging news from the ARRL. Our ranks are growing. Jim Dameron, N8 TMW, has the numbers.
Hams, we're in good company. There are now more than 30,000 new licensees among us, as reported by the ARRL's Volunteer Examiner Coordinator's Office. More than 35,350 candidates set for exams for new licenses or upgrades, and by the end of last December, the amateur radio community was 748,136 strong. Not surprisingly, the largest segment consisted of technicians, with nearly 378,000 ticket holders. According to the ARRL, there were 174,206 general class tickets issued, closely followed by 145,034 in the amateur extra class. Only advanced class and novice, which are no longer being issued by the FCC, showed a drop in numbers. Expect the bands to be busier than ever.
Hamvention is only weeks away, and there's something very special in the area that is a must-see.
When the lights go out at the Greene County Fairgrounds after a busy day at Hamvention, what happens next? The National Voice of America's Museum of Broadcasting has that answer. A visit to Westchester, Ohio, a half hour or so away from the convention by car. The museum is open for extended hours during Hamvention weekend, and visitors can get an early start on Thursday when the museum is open from 1 to 4 p.m. The museum will have especially late hours, that's until 9 p.m., on Friday, May 18th and Saturday, May 19th. The historic site, known as VOA's Bethany Relay Station, had 6 of the world's most powerful shortwave transmitters sending messages to Europe, Africa, and South America between 1944 and 1994, when the studio finally went silent. Attendees can visit the exhibits dedicated to broadcast pioneer Powell Crosley Jr., see a huge collection of Drake amateur radio gear, and VOA's remaining 250,000-watt transmitter, as well as the 1960s master control room. Or do what hams enjoy best. Get on the air from the Ham Shack for WC8 VOA, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association. For complete information on hours and exhibits, visit voamuseum.org. And see you in Ohio. Reporting for Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG in Bloomington, Indiana.
Remembering TV's Garry Shandling, who's the subject of a new HBO documentary. It celebrates his career and his boyhood hobby, amateur radio.
As many hams know, long before he was Garry Shandling's stand-up comedian, he was Garry Shandling, WA7BKG. When Shandling died unexpectedly at age 66 of pulmonary thrombosis 2 years ago, the entertainment world and his community of fans were joined in grief by older radio amateurs. Many of them remembered hearing Garry on the air so many years ago from his QTH in Tucson, Arizona. The world recently got a second look at the comedian in a documentary, The Zen Diaries of Garry Shandling. The 4.5-hour special premiered on HBO in late March, sharing his rise on the stage, making millions laugh, but also puts his youthful amateur radio experience and his early dreams of a career in engineering back in the spotlight. Although Shandling had long since let his license expire and isn't a silent key in the formal sense, he is clearly missed. So much so that he is back on the air, at least in spirit. His friends have revived his Twitter account and have announced that much of the material will be from the comedian's own writings. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Another reminder that the 2018 nominating period for the Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award is now open. You'll find full information and the nominating form on our website, www.arnewsline.org. Just look at the top under the YHOTY tab. For the rest of this week's Amateur Radio News, please listen to the full Amateur Radio Newsline report online on a repeater near you or on shortwave radio station WTWW at 9930 and 5085 kilohertz. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at www.arnewsline.org. With Jim Dameron, N8 TMW, Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG, Stephen Kinford, N8 WB, Karen Eve Murray, KD2 GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW 73. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.